Well, good evening, everybody, and welcome to the very first Polaris Professional Jiu-Jitsu Invitational. My name's Josh Palmer. Joining me in the commentary booth for this evening, Nick Gregoriadis and Nick Osipchek. We begin our first match. Ireland's Darragh O'Connell representing Silverio Jiu-Jitsu and the East Coast BJJ Academy in Dublin, taking on Max Campos in the white gi, representing Oxford Shoot Fighters.
Yeah, we can expect a lot of Marcelo Garcia style moves from Darragh O'Connell. He's got an amazing north-south, good butterfly guard. He's modeled his game with Marcelo Garcia. It's going to be interesting to see how the all-rounder Campos deals with that. And
he's such a good pressure passer as well. If Campos gives up that top position, I think we can just expect a lot of forward pressure, looking for the knee through the middle all the way to the kind of baseball bat choke style finishes Darragh's made in his game lately. A bit of grip fighting though. Do you think we're going to see a lot of judo tonight from these guys, or what? You know, we're dealing with a different kind of scenario where the points don't really come into play. It is 15 minutes, submission only. The only rules these guys have got to be aware of: no slamming above 50 centimeters, no neck cranks, and reaping the knee will cause the position to be reset.
Yeah, the rules don't favor takedown fighters. So there's no real incentive for the guy to go to the takedown. So as you said, we're going to see a lot more grip fighting in these type matches. Guys are going to want to set their grips and pull their guard, or maybe get a low single or something like that. You're not going to see any big throws, I don't think. We'll see how this progresses.
How much of a feeling out period do you expect, Nick, in this? Both these guys a little cagey at the start, playing a little bit of open guard, but just fighting for grips again on the feet now.
Yeah, you're right, Josh. I mean, there's obviously a lot of respect between these two fighters. Both been tearing up the UK scene and very similar weights. So just feeling each other out now. We saw Campos looking for a leg early, but Darragh easily shook out of that one and back on their feet at the moment.
Yeah, as you said, Nick, both these guys making a lot of statements on the domestic scene lately, both with several London Open titles to the name, of course, good European credentials as well. Perhaps a little bit wider competition for Darragh, having, of course, originally made a bit of a name for himself in the Kumite over in the brown belt division.
Yeah, he performed really well over there. He's yet to make a huge name for himself on the international scene, so this would be a real breakout win for him. I'm interested to see what he can do against Campos, because Campos has been in the game for a lot longer than he has, and he's I think almost 10-year black belt now. It's I guess the classic case of youth versus experience in this match.
Yeah, actually got his black belt in 2007, started jiu-jitsu all the way back in the year 2000. That was thanks to his twin brother dragging him along to his first ever session, as we see Max pull into an open guard here.
Yeah, Darragh's going to maybe try to knee slice through this. It looks like it's the perfect setup for that. But obviously he's got a strong defense with that top knee. He's going to make it very difficult. Max is going to make it very difficult for him to do that. We'll see how he deals with it. If you can just get those knees together, it's going to make the pass easier, but Max is going to make it very difficult for him to do that. And he's reset back to the full open guard.
And Nick, we know that Max has been training with the Black Thursday squad, a group of black belts in London who get together every week to really concentrate on focusing and improving their games. What's that kind of camp and preparation going to do for him here?
Well, for starters, he's going to make his game super sharp, and his confidence will be real high, knowing he's up against the elite week in, week out. So excellent preparation. And I'll tell you what, I was speaking to him earlier today, and I noticed he had his newly born daughter along with him, so that's going to be extra motivation.
Oh, good sweep from Max Campos, going inverted, coming to the top position. Crowd very intelligently acknowledging the sweep there.
Yeah, it was a nice sweep, and pity it doesn't count for any points, but perhaps he's more comfortable fighting from this top position. That's probably what he was looking to set up as a...
And it's going to be a statement. You know, he's sending a message out to his opponent saying, look, I can sweep you. I'm controlling this fight.
Darragh just trying to keep his frame together here. Keep some semblance of a defensive guard. Lovely grip through on the lapel, though.
Yeah, he's looking to work the Ashigarami or the single leg X. We'll see if he can get it. It's a very compromised position for Max, standing up like that. Balance is difficult to maintain when a guy's fighting from the position that Darragh's in.
I must admit, in all the time I've seen Darragh fighting jiu-jitsu, it's very rare I see him on his back. I usually see him passing, looking to be aggressive, looking to be forward, but he's got to be a little careful here. Just waiting to see if we get a change of tempo from one of these guys, suddenly try and explode through the position, get something a bit more dominant. But a lot of time still to go in this matchup here.
Yeah, it's quite a precarious position for Campos, because his hips are situated directly over Darragh's hips, so he's got to really watch his balance here. But At the same time, he's constantly threatening the pass. This is an interesting position. We see it a lot in modern jiu-jitsu.
Tell you what though, guys, such a momentous occasion here at Polaris #1. These guys being the first match, they've got to be feeling the pressure.
Yeah, absolutely. We're certainly we're very privileged to be here calling the action for you. We're happy you could join us. Do, of course, get the action going on Twitter as well, #Polaris, or you can join our official chat partner, #jack.slack.com. Head over there, get yourself a membership, and join in the conversation.
Darragh, I noticed, had a lot of support. He's got his own academy in Dublin, East Coast Jiu-Jitsu Factory, and a good number of supporters come along to watch him here.
Darragh's starting to attack with a straight foot lock. We'll see if he can pull this off.
Really established that X-guard position very nicely. Went to the hip, went right to the knee, and really took Max off balance. See our referee, David Anuma, just trying to reset the position in the center of the mat. A lot of space to play with here, but somehow the guys do manage to find their way to the edge every now and then.
Yeah, restart in the same positions when the fight reaches the edge of the match.
This might turn into a leg lock battle now.
Got a feeling we're going to see a few of those tonight, guys.
Interesting to see who's going to come out on top here, see if one of them tries to use it to sweep to gain top position, or whether they're both going to try and just hunt for the sub straight from the off. Can't quite see who's got the more offensive grip in this position.
Yeah, it's a very negative or stale position we see increasingly in the modern game. But guys are both on such high level, it's difficult for either one to edge out the advantage. So it's often that it's going to be common that they end up in this position at this level. Just seen Campos sit up to seated guard. Both guys using the grips very effectively.
Darragh going back to the knee-up passing game that he uses so often. We've already seen Campos is dangerous from here. The ability to go inverted very quickly.
Campos is really controlling the distance well with his top knee, making it difficult for Darragh to complete the pass. He's also got very good grips, especially controlling that leg.
And it's not just the control on the leg, is it? It's the connection of his elbow to the ground as well. Just strengthens that entire frame the whole way through. Do we think we're going to see Max look to go inverted again? Is that really the type of game he's... Well, answered my own question there, haven't I?
It's so interesting to see how different the game is without the points.
It's going to be interesting to see as well how their strategies start to show themselves as the minutes pass by. Maybe some of these guys will be saving themselves for the last 5 minutes or whatever, and then really start to up the tempo, push the pace, and look for the finish.
I have a feeling both guys are going to have phenomenal cardio coming to this one. I know the kind of training sessions they've been putting in preparation for such a big occasion.
Yeah, these are highly conditioned athletes, no doubt. Campos wants to play guard, doesn't want to stand up wall.
Well, Darragh's got a very strong rugby background, so I'd like to see him put in a strong double leg at some point.
And there's Darragh trying to control that foot. He knows if he can get that foot between his hips, he's going to have a higher chance of passing. Campos is thwarting him using the lapel.
Seeing a lot more of this type of lapel guard. Of course, Keenan's worm guard we thought we might see tonight. That match, of course, now no-gi. But Campos going inverted again, looking for the sweep, and again coming up on top.
Very nice. That was beautiful. If it was a points match, guys, who would you say is winning right now?
Well, it's definitely Campos. He's got 2 sweeps that I've seen so far. So, and I haven't seen any scoring moves from O'Connell yet. Have you guys seen any scoring moves from him?
No, absolutely. It is would-be Max Campos up. But, of course, points don't matter in this. It's all about the finish. But clearly both guys want to do that from this top position. So, again, Darragh looks to
looking for
work his guard.
Darragh using that butterfly hook really well. Constant pressure from Campos.
Max does like to get his hips high over Darragh's. He's very confident with his base and balance.
And we might have a pass here. It's very, very close. You can just pass that knee and then Darragh squares his hips up again to thwart the pass.
No, this is an interesting footlock grip potentially for Darragh, but he's switching all the way over, and again we're going to find ourselves in a bit of a battle. See O'Connell again gripping that pant leg. He used it to come back up to the top position very effectively last time.
And we see the fact that there's no points has already changed this match from a point match, because Darragh would have scored the sweep, or he would have come up with the sweep, but there's no need to do that.
And acknowledging a good sweep from the Irishman. Looks to drive that knee through the middle again, and I think we're starting to see him perhaps up the pace a little bit.
Passing the guard at this elite level is such a difficult task.
Guys, should there be a countdown clock on the screen? Because we're not getting any, and a few people on social media are saying, shouldn't there be one? How awkward, Nick, can these lasso grips and all these tie-ups from the guard position be to pass if you let a guy really start tying your arms up and getting the dominant grips?
Yeah, it's very, very difficult. A good black belt has a grip of steel, and he knows that he who controls the grips controls the fights, and if he gets a good grip, he's going to be like a dog with a bone. He's not going to want to give it up, so it's incredibly difficult to break those grips and subsequently pass.
Referee David Anuma just resetting the fighters again in the middle of the mat. Once again, O'Connell looking to pass a little bit more decisively now.
Yeah, he's stripping that grip really well, using his knee to pop it off.
Campos so tricky with his leg circling.
Bit more fire in Darragh's eyes now, starting to put a bit more strength behind his techniques.
I think almost a look of frustration when Campos conceded to stand back up there. Marching the Brazilian down now.
Yeah, Campos is backpedaling for sure. Looks like he might be gassing a little bit. His footwork's getting a little bit sloppy as well.
Darragh's looking fresh on the other hand.
Oh, almost had a nice ankle pick there.
Yeah, just a little bit far out, didn't really set it up with too much. It's going to be hard to engage on a wrestling entry like that with no prior grip, no prior feint. But Darragh really starting to be the aggressor here, pushing forward. Wonder if he senses that Campos starting to get a little bit tired as the Brazilian shakes his arms out momentarily.
Yeah, it's clear he's starting to gas, and hopefully, well, if Darragh wants to capitalize, this is the time.
I mean, how does 15 minutes change the mindset for these guys? Because obviously, you know, adult black belt, they're doing 10 minutes in IBJJF tournaments, but that extra 5, Nick, can really start to take its toll.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, 5 minutes doesn't sound a lot, but when you've already done 10, it can seem like you're almost doing another 10, and you really got to tailor your training leading up to it to get yourself used to those 15-minute rounds.
I think O'Connell really starting to get frustrated now with Campos in a constant retreat, finding his way to the edge of the mat. Pulls guard here.
Could be some stalling tactics by Campos going on there.
Really aggressive top game from Darragh O'Connell now, trying to control the legs, trying to find that knee through the middle.
I'm quite surprised there haven't been that many footwork attacks. Players using his open guard so much, it does leave him vulnerable to
Look at Campos taking a breather, guys. This is strategy.
Yeah, it certainly is. Common thing you see training and tournament all over the world. I want a few more seconds. Quick, let me tie my belt.
Some people claim that that's why the Brazilians love to train in the gi. Gives them a little bit of extra time to rest during sparring.
Well, we reset. Max Campos in the white gi representing Oxford Shoot Fighters, taking on Darragh in the blue gi representing Silverio Jiu-Jitsu and East Coast Jiu-Jitsu Dublin. First match in the first ever Polaris Professional Jiu-Jitsu Invitational.
And what a venue, guys. St David's Hall in Cardiff. Plenty of people turn up to see it, and couldn't ask for a better venue.
Well, Campos looking to try and pull that leg through now. Good pank control from O'Connell, though.
Campos comes up on top. We're going to see if he's got gas in his tank to start to push the pace and try to pass the guard. But again, it looks like he's really trying to slow things down.
I mean, it's one thing, isn't it, to get up and get that sweep, but if you don't immediately start trying to pass and get that transition and you let the other guy establish his guard structure, you've just made your job a whole lot harder, haven't you?
Exactly.
Bit of a tighter game on top from Campos now here. He's got a good triangle of the legs.
Yeah, he's trying to put O'Connell flat in his back, which neutralizes the specific guard that he's trying to play a lot. So also his knees are being squeezed together, which controls the hips and makes it very difficult for him to attack. We'll see what he can pull off from here.
Well, all of a sudden, a totally different style from Max Campos. Could potentially pay dividends for him here. And you see O'Connell grimacing, trying to find his way to create some sort of space, get some sort of guard retention going.
He's now got head control. It's not looking good for Campos.
Campos, I think, as we perhaps expected at this point, taking his time, being very slow, very methodical.
Yeah, if he drives his shoulder into the jaw of O'Connell, it's really going to make it difficult for him to do anything. So Campos is starting to take control of this match. We'll see O'Connell might pull out a big sweep from here. He has an opportunity for a sweep. Right now he's off balancing him a little bit. He's got that grip on the knee. It's a good grip for a particular sweep setup. See if we can pull it off. There we go. There we go. Almost. He's gone into the Ashigurami. Very popular position in modern jiu-jitsu.
Interesting. He got the foot on the hip and immediately came under the leg. Sweeping to top position. Good recovery from Darragh.
And you can hear the crowd respond well to that sweep.
Well, we're getting a lot of back and forth fighting for top position here. Both guys having their moment, but none really coming that close to a dominant position. And again, the crowd not liking that Max Campos is taking a few more seconds to deal with his belt.
Darragh showed his frustration there. He knows what Max is up to.
Oh, and Darragh exploding into a pass. Campos able to recover, though.
Again, throughout the duration of this match, he's used that top knee to control the distance really, really well in the Z guard or 93 guard style. Very frustrating. Bottom player knows how to use that well. Campos is really just holding on with it at this point.
Yeah, I think Darragh smells blood here. He's going to really chase the finish.
Really could come down to who's got more in the gas tank here. You see Darragh just trying to protect his own lapel a little bit, stop some of those stalling grips that Campos could establish if he gets hold of it.
O'Connell's really pushing the pace, trying some leg drags.
Oh, and end of the match. We're going to find ourselves going to a draw. But what a good contest, guys.
Yeah, I mean, you got a feel for Darragh there. I reckon he would have liked another 5 minutes, and Campos will be glad it's over. Nick, what do you reckon?
I think it was a very close match, but definitely towards the end it seemed to be that O'Connell was starting to get into the driver's seat. As you say, I think another 5 minutes and it probably would have started to turn even more in his favor.
But here we are, Polaris. If it goes to distance, it's automatically a draw.
But as someone said to me earlier, the internet will decide the victor, as it always does. Nice opening match. Our first match.
Yeah, a lot of respect between these two. I'm sure they're going to meet again in the future. And Josh Palmer, our commentator, is going to speak to both competitors now.
I'm here with Darragh. A lot of crowd support in the house here for you. Give us your thoughts on that fight. It looked as though you were getting a little frustrated towards the end there.
I just wish we had more time, you know. It takes a while sometimes to feel it out, you know, especially like it's a big show. There's a lot on the line, and I just feel like if we had a little bit more time, you know, it could develop a bit more. I was taking a while to find my passing rhythm, you know, find my position. But man, Max's guard is so good, you know. He's an incredible competitor. I was very, very worried about the leg locks. I trained a lot with my students, you know, to defend the leg locks. That was something I was very cautious of. Sometimes I was giving up the top position because when he spins like this, he's very good at 50-50 ankle lock. So you have to play to your strong positions. And it was a huge opportunity here to compete, you know, on such a huge show in front of all you guys on the stream and everything against such a high-level competitor. You know, I'm just so happy to be here. I might have been getting frustrated, but never at anyone else, just myself, you know, just not getting good enough position and being annoyed at myself, not anyone else, you know. So sorry if I came across like that.
I think that just about leaves all there is to say. Ladies and gentlemen, big round of applause for Darragh O'Connell. I'm here with Max Campos. Max, give us your thoughts on that fight.
So, this guy, Darragh, thank you for agreeing with this fight. I felt the guy is so strong, very good pressure on top, have amazing jiu-jitsu, very good.
You have a very good training camp every Thursday down in London. How has that been helping you prepare for this?
Yes. All Thursday I'm going to London for training with my mates, in black belts only, brown and black belt. This is, I think, the best training in UK, helping me a lot.
Ladies and gentlemen, Max Campos! We're on to our second match of the evening. Kit Dale in the black gi, 28 years old, representing Checkmat Jiu-Jitsu from Australia, taking on Victor Silverio, GFT, Brazil, 23 years old.
Tonsillitis, and he was hospitalized. This was just over a week ago, and then he rolled his ankle in his training camp a few days ago. You can see it's taped up. He's limping a little bit. So we'll see if his opponent is a gentleman and doesn't attack that ankle. Then I'm sure he's going to have as good a chance as anyone. But either way, it's going to be a tough match for him because Victor Silverio is a very aggressive, very hungry jiu-jitsu fighter.
Nick, you've spent a lot of time in promotions like the UFC, fighting in some very oppressive environments against some huge opponents. If you knew your opponent was injured like that, is that something you'd seek out?
Absolutely. I'm not going to lie to you, Josh. I mean, depends how hungry you are as a competitor, what your ambitions are. In something like MMA, you can't afford to show any signs of weakness, and if you smell some, you've got to go after it. However, this is BJJ, it's another game. Let's see how Victor reacts to it.
Well, Kit Dale pulling guard here. That left foot we saw taped up, currently under the armpit of Victor Silverio.
Yeah, it's going to be very difficult for him to do anything other than pull guard. It's going to be hard to stand on your feet and fight when you've got an injury like that, so it's probably the wisest choice. Although he is opening himself up to a straight foot lock there. I don't think it would take much pressure from Silverio to get the submission with that.
Well, let's see if he's aware of that. Of course, Kit Dale coming off a disappointing performance at the last Mesa Morris against Garry Tonon, who of course we're going to see later on this evening against Marcin Held. Victor Silverio, though, since we saw him in the brown belt commentator a couple of years ago, he's really pressed forward, become very aggressive in competition, and we're seeing some of that passing now.
And there was a very nice athletic kick back he used to clear the hook. You can see he's got very explosive power. He uses his hips in a very dynamic fashion. Tough fighter. Now he's squeezing Kit's top knee towards the ground. Again, that's one of the key things we're going to see here tonight. A lot of guys defending with this Z guard, 93 style guard, and if you can just take care of that top leg and that top knee, you completely neutralize that. He's squared his hips now, which is, again, another correct thing to do in this scenario. If you square the hips up, it takes away the power of the Z guard.
Dale perhaps looking to wrap up the lapel in some manner. I think this is another example of a huge experience differential. Kit Dale lauded as being one of the guys who progressed very, very quickly. Of course, Victor Silverio started when he was just 15 years old. Got his black belt December of 2013.
Yeah, only 23 years old. Absolutely coursing with testosterone, and you're at your athletic peak at that age. It's going to be a handful no matter what.
Top position here for Silverio, looking to drive that knee through the middle. Position we saw frequently in our last match between Max Campos and Darragh Connell.
You're right,
Only
Josh.
a couple of minutes in, though.
Kit got his black belt in just 4.5 years, and to be honest, if he's going to take the fight with an injured foot, he's just going to have to draw a line under that and not feel the pain. You know, he can't be thinking about that at this level. He's just got to accept it and deal with it.
I mean, I think he's recently accepted that perhaps he wants to get a slightly higher level of training, recently moving to the US to further those jiu-jitsu ambitions.
This is really not a good place for Dale now. So Vera's really starting to clamp down. He's setting up a very powerful pass here. He's starting to clear that top knee. If he just gets past it, he's going to have this pass. Dale using the grips well to defend though.
Bit of gamesmanship from Silverio, perhaps, looking around, taking his time. We're going to see an explosion and change of pace.
Dale trying to use the lapel to wrap up and control the elbow. Silverio didn't get it though. See, those hips are just getting ready to explode forwards.
Bit of a stagnant position here for a few moments. Both guys knowing that the margin for error is so small, really can shift on a dime.
It will be interesting to see how the tonsillitis will affect Kit's cardio as the minutes tick by.
Certainly going to be a consideration, as we've already seen tonight.
Kit using some interesting lapel variations here.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what he does with those. It's all very well to establish the grips, but what's he going to do from there? Is he just going to frustrate Silverio? Is he going to sweep to a top position, or is he going to start hunting for those submissions?
Stretching out to make a little bit of space. Wonder what he's going to set up. He might be trying to sweep him over to his right side. That's where the hole is. Again, that powerful kickback from Silverio.
Yeah, huge back step. He's got to control the legs on the way round here, though.
This is not good for Dale. Constant pressure, switching of the hip, changing direction laterally. Very confusing and difficult to adapt for your opponent on the ground.
Yeah, Darragh did a good job of framing on the head, though. Keeping Silverio at bay for now. But perhaps, I think, Nick, the momentum in this one really going the way of Victor Silverio at the moment.
Yeah, absolutely. He looks like the predator right now, and he's determined to get that pass. And I think it's only a matter of time, to be honest.
Kit's a very wily jiu-jitsu fighter, though, as we all know. He's a big proponent of conceptual-based jiu-jitsu, and he's always thinking in new directions. You can never underestimate a fighter like this.
Again, a brief scramble, but Dale managing to retain that guard. See if we see another kickback pass from Silverio. We've already seen the kind of explosiveness he can have in those positions.
This is not a great position for Kit Dale, especially with the knee coming onto his chest. It's very difficult when you're at this level. You're playing against a top player like this, a pressure passer. It's not good when he gets his knee to your chest. Although Kit's reestablished a little bit of distance.
Yeah, Victor Silverio, double gold at the Rio Open last year. Of course, brown belt, took World Pro Championships and CBJJ World Championships.
Kid threatening with a sweep. Threatening with a leg attack.
Oh, and he manages to off-balance Silverio. Not able to come up on top, though. Let's see if he's hunting for a toe hold here, perhaps.
Yeah, it might be difficult for him to get a toe hold on this particular leg from this position. Kit might try to clear the legs and come up, but it's going to be difficult with his leg through the middle like that. Not wise to start a leg lock fight now when you've got an injured ankle.
We saw in the last fight, we're seeing again here, both guys making such strong grips on the pant legs, because control of the legs on your way up is so important, isn't it?
Definitely. Kit's figure forward onto his knee over here.
Bit of 50-50 guard here.
Be a very frustrating position for the top player.
Halfway through this match now. 50-50 can, without the use of heel hooks, become a little bit of a stagnant position.
Kid smiling, always a good sportsman.
I think this slower pace is really going to suit Kit, and Victor needs to start pressing the pace. Got to take advantage of the fact that Kit wasn't coming into this 100%.
He's still trying to work that 50-50 position, trying to push the knee out to the left and maybe off-balance him. Very precarious position for the fighter on the top, as you say, if he hasn't got the option of heel hooks. Difficult for him because whenever he wants to set up the pass, he's always in danger of losing his balance.
Yeah, all Kit Dale's got to do is really extend his hips, and he stands a good chance of sitting Silverio all the way back down.
Kit's created a nice angle here. We'll see if he can capitalize on it, although it will be difficult, as Silverio has his left arm out to base. This is a position we see a lot in modern jiu-jitsu, this 50-50 style tie-up. And some people claim that it's causing too many stalemates and that the rules should be adjusted to counter this. I think it's just a sign of the evolution of the sport. Fighters will use any position and exploit it.
And it's like anything, isn't it? We see that position come in one year, it's causing a lot of problems. The next year, everybody's got a whole set of different techniques and circumstances for it.
Exactly, that's why a good jiu-jitsu instructor will always teach you to remain fluid and not base your game around any specific technique, and always be open-minded to new things.
Coming up to the 2/3 mark.
Potential omoplata setup here.
What's Kit Dale got to do to make use of this position here, to really make it pay off? He's done the hard part of off-balancing Silverio, but right now we're getting stuck in a bit of a stalemate.
It's very difficult for him to come up with both of his legs in that position, because his legs stop him from sitting up to complete the sweep and come up on top. So he has to get his legs out so that he can sit up. But the problem with that is as he removes his legs, he removes his control. Gives opportunity back to Silverio. Here we go, ankle attack or leg attack from Silverio, but Kit controlling the center well.
Essentially just a reversal of position here. Kit Dale coming up on top, going to look for some grips to try and break the legs of Silverio open. Much easier said than done, though.
I got a quote here from Kit Dale saying, "I would much rather lose to somebody in a really good fight than to win in a really boring manner." However, he might have had to make a compromise on that ethos, coming in less than 100% today.
Very difficult position. Again, same thing we saw a few minutes ago, but reversed over to the other side now. Now Kit fighting from the top. You can see Kit's really sweating. He's tired. But still, he's playing a smart game here, neutralizing Silverio to a large extent.
He's sweating, Nick, yeah, but he's not. He doesn't seem to be breathing too heavy. It could just be the lights there underneath. I think he's still got a bit of gas in the tank, yeah.
Could be. He's played a very smart game. Perhaps he was looking around for the clock.
Well, Kit trying to come back on top now. We see the power in that 50-50 guard, and Silverio choosing to disengage here, back to the feet. We know Silverio has some very aggressive and strong grips standing. A lot of guys in GF team choosing to fight very aggressively for those takedowns.
Kit keeping that injured ankle back, protecting it. He knows a standing fight is not what he wants right now. Good chance of him jumping guard again. Yeah, he has to be careful not to open up for the pass as he does that. He's favoring that ankle, obviously.
I'd be threatening at least to sweep that damaged ankle as a distraction at the very least.
2.5 minutes to go in this match. quite interesting that Silverio hasn't made any attempts to use the Ashiba Rai or ankle picks or any sort of attacks on that injury of Kit's. Maybe I spoke too soon.
Yeah, both trying to fight for a strong grip here. Dale with the inside grips, but the head position of Silverio and looking.
Nice, nice.
Tried the Kataguruma, didn't quite find it.
Got to respect Kit for the trying that.
Yeah, he definitely off-balanced Silverio with that. He had to counter.
A bit of Aussie rules football in the background of Kit Dale. Obviously a lot of power and endurance in that sport.
Yeah, Kit is very naturally athletic, very explosive, very intelligent jiu-jitsu fighter. Not an easy opponent for anyone.
Dale with the inside control now. But again, those grips so hard to break when you're standing, so strong and powerful. Oh, good attempt to run through on the knee there, but just running out of space.
Yeah, he actually looked like he got a hand on Kit's leg, but Kit did a great job circling out from it.
Only a minute to go. It'll be a surprise if we see a submission in this match, but each of these fighters will want to look to finish strong to gain the favor of the crowd and the internet.
Let's see a flying triangle or flying armbar from someone, please.
Well, this is the time to push the pace. It's all about submissions here at Polaris. And we move into the last 40 seconds. Attempted drop Serenagi from Kit Dale to no avail.
Let's see if we see a flying arm lock or a flying triangle. That would be fantastic.
See somebody just go for something. Obviously no penalty if you don't quite make it. The last 25 seconds here, counting down.
Nice little misdirection by Silverio there. Didn't fall for it. Pulls guard again. Goes for almost.
Into the leg lock position, but I think we're going to run this one out of time. Dying seconds as Victor Silverio. Well, Kit Dale looking for the ankle lock, but perhaps a little bit too little, too late. And our second match here at Polaris goes to a draw.
That was a good effort by Kit right at the end there. As Josh said, perhaps too little, too late, but I've got to tell you, he's really earned my respect tonight. Not only turning up to compete with such a bad week leading up to it, but the way he performed, you know, is a real warrior.
Very impressive. I wonder if Silverio was being a gentleman and not attacking that ankle. Either way, it was an exceptional performance by Kit Dale. He really seemed to neutralize Silverio, who's a more explosive, some would say more powerful fighter. Very, very interesting match.
So that was 2 fights, 2 draws. Let's go to Josh Palmer. He's going to speak to both fighters.
I'm here with Victor Silverio. Victor, give us your thoughts on that fight. Stuck in the 50-50 position for a good deal of it. Were you frustrated you couldn't get the pass?
Yeah, I'm frustrated because my goal is to take the back, trying to pass the guard. So I tried. I almost took his back, but he had a good defense. And then I was in a long time in the 50-50. And then he almost got my full lock, the full lock on me. So I think it was a good match. We tried our best. I think I tried my best. Probably try his best. So I hope that everybody like it. Thank you.
How has your trip been here to Cardiff and your experience with Polaris?
Polaris is a big event. I was expecting something big, but it's more bigger than I was thinking. So sorry about my English because I'm a retired. It's gonna be hard to speak in Portuguese, that is my language, and more in English, you know. So sorry, I'm really glad to be here in UK.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Thanks for every UK friends that are here today, and every UK friends and everybody in the roads that seen the pay-per-view, okay? Thank you, guys.
Victor Silverio, ladies and gentlemen. I'm here with Kit Dale. Kit, give us your thoughts on that fight. I've got to ask, you came into this with a couple of injuries. Obviously, your ankle is taped up. Were you surprised that he didn't attack that ankle at any point?
No, I didn't expect him to attack that ankle. He's a game fighter, and I know he wants to win, you know, the best way he can win. And I know he wouldn't have felt good attacking a bad ankle as well. So I didn't feel like he was going to attack it. The tape was just so I didn't hurt it myself. But no, he was cool, man. He respected I had an injury and tried to win it fairly, which is really cool.
How was your preparation for this one? Because getting to the end there, you were both fighting hard for that takedown, but just not able to generate the power needed.
Yeah, it's hard, you know, 15-minute rounds, a long round. I don't think a jiu-jitsu match should go longer than 5 minutes, but that's me. And I was trying to look around for like a timer, hoping there was a timer. And it was like every now and then I could hear someone in the crowd say like how long it was. So it was kind of hard to pace myself. Plus, you know, I was worried I didn't want to burn out really early and then get demolished for the rest of the round. So we're both fairly passive for a while, just trying to tie one another out and try and find something.
This isn't your first experience with submission-only matches. Are you enjoying this rule set and this kind of setup?
Yeah, like I enjoy it. I think like me and Victor are both made for points games at the moment. We play the point system really well, the control. So I don't think it's either of our best game. But it's still enjoyable and it's something else to play around with. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Ladies and gentlemen, Kit!
Dale? No, can I just, before I finish, can I thank the boys at Hollywood BJJ for helping me prepare for this. I was in LA. I didn't have a lot of good training partners, so thank you for them. Plus the guys at London Fight Factory, London Fight Zone for letting me train there. Plus Victor for an awesome fight. And Tatami as well. Polaris putting the event on. Thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, Kit Dale and Victor Silverio. Taking on Michel Nicolini of Team Checkmat in Brazil. He's going to get this one started with another 15 minutes of gi action. Also, just like to apologize to everybody on the internet who may have noticed me wearing my shoes onto the mat. I do have a great deal of stairs to run from our commentary position down onto the mat. But I promise you, if you don't mind waiting, I'll take them off next time. Immediate guard pull here. And a fast pace from the ladies at the outset.
Again, we see this position over and over in high-level jiu-jitsu.
Galvao trying to instigate some guard work. Nicolini looking to feint side to side here.
Looks like Nicolini setting up over-under pass. Very composed look on the face of Galvao. Breathing through her nose. Relaxed.
Galvao, one of a few members of Atos fighting here tonight and has her husband Andre in the corner.
Yeah, I mean, what a team that is. Just a murderer's row. JT Torres down there. Keenan Cornelius, of course, in our main event tonight. Sudden change. He's taking on Dean Lister in a rematch of their 2013 Abu Dhabi match. But both ladies very calm here. Seated position for both, fighting for grips at the moment. Nicolini, of course, known for her guard work.
Tries to invert, but that's stuffed by the hips of Galvao.
Been seeing a lot of shin-on-shin guard from Michel Nicolini recently. That might be why Galvao is not wanting to accept, but she's climbing for a triangle here.
Defends the triangle well, putting her leg across. But once it's clear, she's going to be in big trouble.
Yeah, that leg really protecting Angelica Galvao now. Crooked guard with an aggressive grip on that sleeve. For Michel Nicolini. Clears the leg, looks to sit up.
Galvao really in trouble here.
Clasping her hands together to defend. And now she's in the mount.
Well, she defends the triangle. She's looking to escape the mounted position, but only 2 minutes in, and Michel Nicolini's found herself with an exceptionally dominant top position here.
It's nice high mount as well. Looking to move further up even to make it even more difficult for Galvao.
Nicolini with a pro MMA record of 2-1. And I really like to see the competitors that also dabble in MMA, and I think it shows through in their style, you know, a little bit more aggressive.
Yeah, I'm sure that's brought an entire new focus to Nicolini's game. Of course, that MMA competition doing very well at the moment, but Her focus, of course, here for this tonight, been doing a lot of training down in London for this fight camp. I'm sure Robert Drysdale perhaps watching this back in the States eagerly. He, of course, giving her her black belt.
Nicolini keeps it threatening with the choke, making it very difficult for Galvao to start her escapes. She's constantly having to worry about that hand going into her lapel. Putting a lot of pressure on the neck and the jaw. It's very uncomfortable for the bottom fighter.
I would say this is one of those scenarios where perhaps we're not seeing as much activity from Galvao in defending this position as we might, were there the shorter time periods or the more of an impetus on a points game.
Yeah, showing a lot of patience, and I suspect Nicolini trying to set up some sort of armbar here.
She's trying to move the elbow away from the center and also get a control of that wrist using her own lapel. If she can get that, it's going to be big trouble for Galvao.
And because Galvao obviously isn't making too much of an attempt to escape here, Nicolini's keeping her attentions busy with the collar. Michelle able to just maintain this position with the minimum of effort.
And to be fair, Galvao's not really using much energy to try and escape at this point. So neither fighter expending much. Both probably still have full gas tanks, ready for a powerful scramble if it comes to that. Here we go.
Well, looking at climb the legs, just off balance though, and Galvao established on top, closed guard for Nicolini. But of course she'll be perfectly content to be able to put this guard to work again.
Yeah, Angelica's patience really paid off there. She timed her bridge and roll and made sure that she didn't fall into another submission immediately after the escape in the mount position.
Galvao being very cautious with where she places her hands and arms. She knows that there's a huge danger zone and attack zone for putting her wrists anywhere in that center, and she keeps them away and she keeps the grips on the two lapels.
Let's see how much intention she has to stand and break here. Or we're going to see a very methodical closed guard game from Nicolini here. Stripping the grips now.
Atos team known for their powerful closed guard passes. The very methodical method in which they approach passing the closed guard. We'll see if Angelica uses that now.
Well, she's accepting this low posture here. See which one of these ladies chooses to create the space first. Then Galvao goes back to trying to break the closed guard here. See that knee underneath Nicolini. She's going to be driving that wedge through. And Nicolini's got such a good open guard. I don't think she needs to worry, but looks to sweep to the top, and Galvao trying to pass aggressively again.
Again, this leg lock style, 50-50 style tie-up from both these fighters.
Been seeing this a lot tonight. Both fighters in that seated position looking to engage. Do hope you're all enjoying the live stream here from St David's Hall in Cardiff. This is the third fight on the first ever Polaris Professional Jiu-Jitsu Invitational. Michelle Nicolini in the grey gi versus Angelica Galvao in the black gi. Josh Palmer, Nick Gregoriadis, and Nick Osipchak calling the action for you here. What a dogfight between these two ladies.
Nice scrambles.
And immediately Angelica Galvao looks to pass. No time in that transition at all.
Fantastic pass, and she's also closed down the roll to the knees as well by controlling Nicolini's knee, stopping her from turning over. Using head control there as well.
It's going to be interesting to see if Galvao can complete this pass. Just taking a moment to breathe and staying very tight on her opponent.
Galvao is really impressing me in this match.
Michelle almost looked surprised how that came about. Yeah, you're right. Galvao did a great job, excellent hip pressure as well to prevent the escape straight away, but it wasn't long before Nicolini recovered. Now it's back to drawing board for Angelica.
Well, after a good start for Nicolini, Galvao almost taking a dominant position of her own, but we're over the halfway mark. 5.5 minutes left in this one. See both ladies. Oh, well. Michelle looking to go for the toe hold. She's known for them. It's straight at the... Oh, and she gets the tap! Michelle Nicolini wins by toe hold at the 9-minute mark. She's known for toe holds, and what a fantastic submission that was.
Yeah, kind of came out of nowhere. They were in that leg lock position we've seen all night, but I just don't think Angelica was expecting it to be a toe hold.
It's really cool to see how the most exciting match, or the match that's gone to the finish tonight, the first one we've seen is from two women. It shows how far the ladies jiu-jitsu has progressed. Not a completely unexpected result. Nicolini by far the more experienced of the two competitors. Although Galvao looked really good up until that point. Good match.
Yeah, hats off to Galvao. She did very well up until that point, as you say. Nicolini just got an amazing amount of torque to finish that toe hold. She tried to roll at one point and get her legs involved, and then she decided, no, I'm just going to crank it on. And before you know it, Galvao was tapping out.
Yeah, when they come on, they come on real hard, and you don't want to be trying to hold on.
Here's Josh with the winner.
Michelle, I'll start with you. Winner by submission, toe hold on the 9-minute mark. Give us your thoughts on that fight.
Yeah, I just came for do my best. Really happy that I could get the submission. First one for the night. Turned really hard for this. You can ask my teammates. And yeah, thanks Angelica to pick up the fight, and thanks everybody to come and to watch. And thank you my team in Brazil, the house, checkmate. Very happy.
You've been doing a lot of training in London for this. You've also recently been doing very well in your MMA career. How has that changed your focus on your style of jiu-jitsu at all?
I had to plan my schedule, my agenda for the whole year, and then I know when I can do MMA, and then I try to put together. But it's like or one or other, so it's close to BJJ competition. I'm not gonna do MMA.
You were the first ladies fight here on Polaris. You happy to come back again?
I hope so, and I hope they keep open the doors for the female fights.
Ladies and gentlemen, your winner, Michelle Nicolini. I'm here with our runner-up, Angelica Galvao. Angelica, what was going through your mind coming into this fight? You're fighting a lady who perhaps has a lot more experience than you in the black belt division.
Yeah, sure. It was my debut at black belt. You know, it was already a big challenge on my hands. I knew how tough, and I knew how dangerous she was, and I knew also we couldn't make a mistake. Unfortunately, I made a mistake, and that was it, that black belt. That's what happened, I didn't make a mistake, but I'm really happy to breaking through this level of jiu-jitsu. Thank you, Polaris, for bringing our sport to a whole another level. And thank you for the opportunity.
Obviously, you've got a very accomplished gym back home in Atos. You've got a couple of teammates on the card tonight. What's it like to come over here and fight as a team on this show?
Belong to Atos is a great opportunity, you know, since my husband and I, it's just my husband, myself, and our daughter in the US. They're really like our family, and like they are all we have as a friends, a family there. So you guys can expect great things coming up for next year at Atos.
Great stuff. Ladies and gentlemen, Angelica, Galvao! Our fourth match of the evening, Ollie Geddes from the United Kingdom, representing the Roger Gracie team. He's 30 years old, taking on AJ Agazarm from the US.
This is definitely the matchup I'm most looking forward to. Classic style versus style matchup. Ollie is a much more complex bottom fighter, and AJ is a pressure top fighter. It'll be an interesting matchup for sure.
And for those of you who don't know, these guys have fought 4 times before in various competitions. Agazarm coming out on top in all of those encounters, but always by points. Never able to get that submission.
That's it, and most of those points coming by takedowns. AJ got a strong collegiate wrestling background, but as we say, those points are not going to count today.
Ollie Geddes, mostly well known for his half guard game. He's going to go searching for that here, I feel.
He's looking for the shin to shin guard. That's his current favorite position from the bottom. So he's going to try to bind on one of AJ's legs.
I like the way AJ's bugging Ollie's head there. I like to see that kind of stuff, and it will distract your opponent and maybe even frustrate them.
Those in the UK know that Ollie is one of the most technical black belts in the world. He's literally broken down jiu-jitsu into its smallest parts. Very, very sophisticated jiu-jitsu fighter. Whereas
And immediately looking for the Kimura is Agazarm. Rolling with it.
Nice escape by Ollie. He has to shake his arm out now.
Anxious moments here. He's going to have to defend this armbar.
Agazarm, much more physically imposing fighter than Ollie. He's always going to make it difficult for Ollie.
Very aggressive early on here. Be interesting to see if, knowing he has 4 prior wins on points, he really wanted to go for the submission. But Geddes going to have to hold on and get on his bike quickly if his grip breaks here.
He's got both legs on the opposite side of the head, so it's not the strongest arm lock position. There is still a chance Ollie can escape, although it is still very threatening. Ollie's head is free. That's what it's allowing him to escape at the moment.
Let's see if he rolls him over again. Looking to go belly down and...
Excellent technical escape by Ollie. Fantastic jiu-jitsu.
And straight after Agazarm again. Oh, and off the takedown immediately.
He gives Ollie the shin guard, or the setup for the deep half.
Yeah, deep half now for Geddes. The crowd not too appreciative of the tactics of Agazarm. Be interesting to see what he makes of that in the post-fight interview.
Yeah, I think AJ playing up to the bad guy role there, grinning at the crowd, knowing what he's done. But straight away, going after the arm again of Ollie.
Again with that Kimura trap, such a strong grip. If you can lock it up.
They say with a good Kimura grip, you can rule the world. Very difficult when a guy knows what he's doing, puts it on you. Difficult to escape, difficult to even move.
See if he looks to roll Ollie again here.
Opportunity to take his back as well.
And AJ's also trying to look on a triangle. A lot of options for him.
Ollie really up against it early. Fighting just to survive here. Only 3 minutes gone so far in this bout.
Agazarm with the triangle here. He's got it fully locked. Slightly odd angle, but...
It's a tight-looking triangle.
Well, he is the 2014 World No-Gi champion.
Ollie defending well.
AJ really putting a squeeze on, committing to this triangle, trying to get the finish. Let's see if he manages to get it. If he doesn't, he's going to burn his legs out.
Well, looking to isolate the other arm. Geddes using his left arm under his own leg to try and create some space from his shoulder to his neck. And some more gamesmanship from AJ here, just slowly taking his mouthpiece out, examining it and putting it back in. Feeling very confident as we enter the 4th minute of this bout.
Yeah, just goes to show how relaxed he's feeling right now, completely in control.
Ollie did phenomenally to defend that attack. Triangle looked sunk pretty deep, but he maintained his composure. Let's see if he can get himself out of this bind he's in now. You can never underestimate a fighter like Geddes. He's such an unorthodox game. He can tap you from the bottom of side mount using his patented squirrel lock.
We've also, of course, seen that very strange, almost inverted knee bar, the dog bar that he looks for. But it may be something tricky that he will need in this one, because AJ Agazarm is Really having his way in the opening stanza here.
Ollie's out of immediate danger because he has both of his arms underneath Agazarm's leg. Let's see if he can capitalize on this little exchange. Now this is Ollie's strong point, back to the seated guard.
And our referee, Nick Brooks, is going to reset us in the middle of the mat.
The longer the fight goes on, the better for Ollie. This AJ is a power and explosion-based fighter, which means he will tire more than Ollie. Ollie's game is built purely off technique. He's not a very attribute-based fighter.
Well, and he's let Geddes establish half guard. He's looking for that knee bar here. You see him just trying to extend the hips.
If he can clasp his hands together, it gives him a little bit more leverage. This is one of Ollie's, as you said, most powerful techniques, the dog bar.
It really is a very tricky leg lock. I know Dean Lister has something very similar in his arsenal he likes.
Agazarm starting to breathe a little bit harder.
Speaking to Ollie at the weigh-ins yesterday, he feels his best chance of victory is choke. He just cannot see AJ tap into anything else, but here he's going for that straight ankle lock.
One of Ollie's favorite submissions.
Well, rolling for position. Agazarm looking for the toe hold, and if he connects his hands, well, good scramble again from Geddes.
Very exciting fight. You can hear the crowd responding to that action.
Best fight of the night so far.
AJ's got such a swagger about him, guys, don't you think?
Yeah, very confident. Very assured in what he wants to do. Six minutes gone now. Ollie Geddes in the black, taking on AJ. Agazarm in the red.
It's literally like breathing for Ollie to be in this position. He spent probably 80% of his jiu-jitsu career here.
Again, looking for this half guard position.
If he can clasp his hands together, AJ using good head control. Ollie wants to put his head in that pocket up against his hip. Good head control again from Agazarm.
AJ just popping the knee up, looking to ride it on the chest here.
Here's Ollie with the underhook looking. He will probably try to transition to the shin to shin guard or re-attack with the dog bar again.
Good manipulation of the head by AJ, and I'm sure that's left over from his wrestling days. Break the guy's posture down and you really take away a lot of his power.
AJ hunting for that hammerlock again.
Oh, and Geddes, well, coming to the top position after Agazarm sat to his hip.
Approaching the halfway mark in this match.
Taking his gum shield out and putting it behind his ear. Well, that is certainly some gamesmanship. I'm quite surprised the referee hasn't really called him for it yet. But we're seeing what the defensive guard of Agazarm is like for the first time here in this match.
Yeah, much more top fighter than a bottom fighter. It's going to be interesting to see what he can do from the bottom.
Well, again, perhaps looking for that Kimura. See him posting on that left wrist, trying to get the right over the top.
Ollie keeping his elbow tight to prevent that. Really trying to Agazarm really trying to peel it out now.
As you said, expect him to really use the raw power if he gets that grip to try and roll the position. But back to the feet.
Very interesting to see them both out of their respective depths. Ollie's much more of a bottom fighter, AJ more of a top fighter, and the roles are reversed. Ollie's staying low, which is interesting as Agazarm is the wrestler.
Agazarm giving him the single leg. Just complete contempt for the takedown ability of Ollie Geddes.
Cartwheel pass there, straight into half guard.
Yeah, locking him in a very tight top position here.
Yeah, good shoulder pressure there.
That's the worst thing to have happen when you're on the bottom fighting in half guard, is for a guy to get his arm under your head and establish what we call the shoulder of justice. Very difficult to move from there. Again, Ollie is super comfortable here.
He's going to have to protect his neck. AJ threatening the choke. And looking to pull that Ankle through, now going back and gripping his hands, and he's got his sweep positions from here.
Keeps attacking with that same technique. Head control is presenting a problem from that borderline illegal move, hand on the face.
Well, I don't think there'll be any love lost between these two after this one. Interesting roll from Agazarm here. I can't quite see the grip he's got.
Going after that arm again. AJ's got a successful amateur MMA record and aspirations one day to make it all the way to the UFC. He said that was his original motivation for starting BJJ.
Well, deep half guard for Geddes, now looking to get his legs into action, but it's into the Kimura grip, and again, looking for the armbar perhaps is AJ Agazarm.
Ollie's locked up, holding his own bicep to defend. This is the classic defense.
Agazarm's had one bite of the cherry already, sneaking through perhaps for the triangle again. Trying to be as diverse as possible in his attacks. Last 4 minutes here. I think it's probably fair to say AJ Agazarm having the better of this match overall at the moment. But of course it doesn't really count for anything if the submission doesn't come. And he's in prime position here.
Definitely the more athletic of the two athletes. We all know it plays such a huge role in combat sports. But Ollie using his incredible depth of technical knowledge to help get him out of some tight spots and attack with submissions of his own. Fantastic match so far.
AJ taking a few deep breaths in. I've got a feeling he's going to try and just explode and power that arm out to finish it. Trying some cheeky manipulation techniques here. Distraction.
Again, Geddes going to the leg to try and help support his grip. Oh, and he taps with the feet. I think that was a bicep crush from AJ Agazarm. Couldn't quite see the grip, but nevertheless, he gets the job done in 11.5 minutes here.
Looks like it was indeed a bicep crush. Ollie was shaking out his hand afterwards. That's usually a sign of a bicep attack.
I've got a feeling we're going to see these two fight again, Nick. I mean, Ollie's not going to be too happy with that showing. He's going to want another shot.
I personally think Ollie fought fantastically. But remember, he's 7 years older and definitely not as athletic as Agazarm, and he still gave him one hell of a match. Fantastic match by both competitors.
Yeah, love him or hate him, I'm sure we're going to see AJ here again one day. He's an entertaining fighter, and we saw a great arsenal of attacks there. Let's go to Josh Palmer to speak with the winner, AJ Agazarm.
I'm here with our winner, AJ Agazarm. AJ, very aggressive from the start there. Was that the plan?
Everybody kind of knows that's always my plan.
I've got to ask, was there some gamesmanship going on there? You took your mouthpiece out a couple of times, put it behind your ear, you sort of motioned for a hug and then feinted for a takedown, trying to play a bit of the bad guy here?
Ali has actually been many times we've trained together, competed against each other many times. So I was really excited to have this matchup because I think different than a tournament, it's an opportunity to show the fans. It's an opportunity for all of you guys. And that's always something I really look forward to, whether it's win or lose. One thing that I always look forward to is putting on a show for you guys, especially in Europe. I think you guys are the most passionate fans out there. So it's great to be here.
AJ, if I can just ask you about the finish. Wasn't too clear for us in the commentary booth. It looked like a bicep slicer. Just talk us through the finishing move there.
If you want to see that technique, it's on my YouTube channel.
Ladies and gentlemen, your winner, AJ Agazarm. I'm here with Ollie Geddes. Ollie, this is the 5th time you've faced AJ. How did that affect, they haven't gone your way in the past. How did that affect you coming into this one?
I just kind of, I put the other ones out of my mind. I was just trying to do the same thing but better, but it didn't get off to the best start. And yeah, managed to work my way out of that, but just never really got back into it. That's how it goes.
You train and compete all over the world very regularly. How's this experience been for you?
So it's been great. I mean, it's been an opportunity to be a part of something as large as this and to feel